Hi guys, I wanted to take some time and do a little video to review the waxing procedure, some tips, tricks, things to make sure that you are doing when you begin performing facial waxing on your clients. The first thing I'm going to discuss are the items that you're going to need to perform the service. Most of these items are located in the waxing center, so it's not something that you're going to have to set up for before your client arrives. This is a wax pot that we use at Apex. Inside, there's a jar. The wax that we use specifically is a green wax, which is for sensitive skin. The wax becomes hard when the warmer is off, and it becomes liquid when the warmer is on. Around the wax pot is just a paper collar. This is just protecting the pot from any drips that may occur while you are getting the wax out of the pot. And then the lid that goes on top. We turn the wax pot on before the day even begins so that it's ready to go by the time your client arrives. Other items that you are going to need, we have a pre-wax cleanser. This you will just apply with a piece of cotton over the eye to remove any makeup or anything like that that would be around the eye that could interfere with the waxing. You will need wax strips. We like to pre-cut the strips, but oftentimes they come in large pieces like this or even a roll, and then we cut them down to size. You will need applicators. So these are actually just popsicle sticks that we use. We often encourage you guys to break these apart so that you can use each end. Of course, we don't double dip when we're doing waxing. You'll need cotton of some sort, so probably a small piece of cotton, like the strip that's located in the dispensary. You will need a paper towel. You will be putting your used wax sticks on the paper towel versus putting them on the counter because they are very sticky and we don't want them to stick to the countertop. You will need some sort of a wax remover. This is an oil-based product that you'll be using after you wax the client to remove any of the sticky residue that's left behind. And then this is called Soothe. It's an aloe product that can be applied with a cotton swab after the wax. This would be up to the client if this is something that they would like applied. It can reduce redness and help soothe and cool the spot that was waxed. Once you lead your client back to the station and have them sit down, you're going to perform a thorough consultation before you begin the service. It's during this time you're going to discuss any allergies or skin sensitivities that your client has. Things that you want to be aware of. If your client is taking any type of acne medication, whether it's topical or oral, sometimes that can cause thinning of the skin, which then when hot wax is applied and removed, it can leave the skin shiny, red, or even sometimes scabbed. Another thing you want to make note of is if your client is on any type of blood thinners, or if they have any fragrance sensitivity to the wax or the products that you're going to be using. You're going to hand the client the mirror, and you guys are going to check out the eyebrows or the lips, whatever part of the face that you're waxing. If it is the eyebrows, I would say oftentimes the client is just getting a cleanup where you're going to remove any of the little sparse hairs that may grow below their actual brow. However, if your client is looking for a change in their eyebrow, these are the things that you want to consider. On an eyebrow, the start of the eyebrow lines up with the corner of the nose. You can actually use a popsicle stick to show your client where that would be. The highest part of the arch of the eyebrow actually runs through the pupil of the eye. So you go from the corner of the nose through the pupil of the eye, and that should show you the highest arch of the brow. The end of the brow should run from the corner of your nose to the end of the eye, and that's where the end of the brow should be. And then you should be creating an even line from the front of the brow to the end of the brow, as seen here. There are lots of different shapes of brows. Of course, the ever-changing trends influence, the services that you'll be doing. So you want to make sure you have a clear conversation with your client to know exactly what they want. You don't want to take their eyebrow too thin if that's not what they're going for. You don't want to give them too high of an arch if that's not something they're comfortable with. So you really want to make sure that you're on the same page. Next, I'm going to read through the procedure of how to perform a waxing service. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to sanitize your hands in front of your guest. You want to make sure that they know your hands are clean so you're not transferring any germs onto their face. You'll have your thorough consultation and have your game plan of what you're going to be doing. Next, you're going to cleanse the area that you're going to be waxing. So if we were waxing the brows, I'm going to use my cotton, apply a little bit of my cleanser, which is going to remove any makeup that they may have, anything like that that would interfere with the wax from sticking on the face properly. I'm going to break my popsicle stick in half so that I have half. I will be using the smooth side, of course, not the rough side. I will be dipping that stick into the wax pot, kind of circling it around, and then I'm going to hover above the pot and holding the stick so that it's flat. What I'm doing is I'm creating a bead, which I think you can see that's starting to form there when applying on a brow. So if this was a brow and I was just cleaning up these sparse hairs that are right in through here, something that I want to be really cautious about. So this is, I colored this so that you guys could see when I apply it really well. So I'm going to apply with my popsicle stick in a smooth motion, starting from the inside of the brow, working towards the outside. When I do that, I want you guys to notice what kind of happens is I create what I like to call a hill. And that's just excess product that builds up right along the brow line. If I'm not cautious of that, this is what can happen. When I go to apply the strip and I push down, what I've done is I've pushed that wax up into the actual brow, and now I have a problem. So, to avoid that from happening, when you apply your wax, from the center out, you need to be extra cautious to knock down that hill before you put the wax strip on. So you can take your stick and you can make sure that there is not a mound of product right along the brow line. And then I'm able to apply my strip and it's not going to squeeze up into the actual brow. Once the wax is applied and the strip is placed over the wax, you're going to run your finger back and forth with a little bit of pressure to make sure that the wax is adhering to the strip. On this illustration right here, it is showing you which direction you're going to pull the strip when you're going to remove the hair. Everything that you do is going to be pulled towards the center. So if you're waxing a brow, you are going to be pulling towards the center or the nose. So you're going to hold the strip at this end and you're going to pull inward. Same thing with the other side. If you're waxing the center in between the two brows, you are pulling towards the center, towards the nose. And then same thing with the lips. So you're actually pulling in the opposite direction that the hair is growing. So for the lips, if the hair was growing down, we're going to be pulling the strip towards the center. So all you have to think is you're always pulling towards the center of the face, no matter where you're waxing at on the face. So again, once that wax is placed on the area and my strip is applied, and I apply my pressure to make sure that it's adhered to the wax, I'm going to place my fingers on either side of the strip and hold the skin taut so that, which means tight, or I'm applying, like I'm stretching the skin so that when I'm pulling, it's going to remove that hair, and then I'm quickly going to either tap the area that I just waxed, or I'm going to apply pressure. That's going to help take away that sting that the guest is feeling. Sometimes your hands will feel cool against their skin, which is now warm from the wax. So again, it's a swift, quick move. I'm stretching the skin on either side. I'm pulling towards the center quickly, and then I'm either tapping or I'm applying pressure. I'm then going to check my work. If I've missed any areas with the actual wax, I can either grab another strip, or I can use the same strip and fold it in half and go back in and kind of get those extra areas. And then I can go in with my tweezers for any fine tuning and kind of get any little hairs that I may have missed. Of course, I'm going to show my guest with a mirror at this point to see what they think. And then I am going to go ahead and clean off any of the extra wax with the post-wax remover and cotton. And then optional at the very end would be to apply the aloe if your guest would like that.